Hello, fashion dreamers. I'm your host, Marco of Dreaming in Fashion. Welcome back to another week of this podcast where we discuss all things fashion. Let's start the show. All right, guys. So, first up on my list, what we're going to talk about today, or what we're going to discuss today, we're going to talk about Beyonce dropping Black Parade on Juneteenth, right? Let's just discuss it and let's talk about it. So, from what I'm hearing, that she collaborated with a stylist, I'm thinking, or I'm guessing, and they came up with this whole thing of this site where they put out a list of black brands, just all black everything, right? And black products, black stylists, just a whole list of things and items that you could purchase that are black owned businesses, black owned brands, black owned products. So, I was excited to see it. I'm glad to see it. We're in the moment right now where we're talking about where we want to include more diversities in most of everything that we're doing in these times, and I'm glad to see it. So, I guess my only gripe would be, I wish they would have did it sooner, and Beehive, don't come for me, and I'm not trying to be negative towards it, but I wish she would have dropped it like earlier that morning, maybe like 7 or 8, 9 in the morning, where people can see it the whole entire day, and they could have been like on it the whole entire day. But from what my understanding is that it was kind of like a last minute type of thing from like little research that I did. But that would be my only concern and my only gripe about it, because I was like, she dropped it at like 10 or 11 o'clock on Friday night, and I'm like, most of people are either out, sleep, it's Friday night, people are out doing other stuff, they're not focused on what's going on in social media as far as black businesses and different things like that. Well, some people are, I take that back, some people are. So that was my only thing, but I'm glad to see it. And she also put out a single. The single was actually called Black Parade, and let me correction, and the actual website is called the Black Parade Route. So I was glad to see it. So I'm glad she did that. She gave people just a footing to the forefront, just to bring in diversity to the forefront and different things like that. So we're going to move on to my next topic. My next topic, we're going to talk about, I know you guys seen it, maybe it was like a while back, during like when the pandemic kind of first started. It was this particular fashion designer, Anifa, and I'll spell the last name for you, Mvuemba. She did this digital runway, right? So thanks to her, the fashion industry changed. She did this whole digital runway because she had already planned to launch her collection. The collection is called Pink Label Congo. So she used like 3D models, making the launch of her collection completely digital. And I was so excited to see this because I've been saying for years that I'm ready to see fashion move to the future. Let's move to the next level of fashion. Let's quit with these same old traditions that we've been doing time and time again with runway shows. And runways are out, and runway shows and collections are out more rapidly than ever. There's not a lot of innovation going into these collections. It's kind of more like, oh, let's just put it out there just to get things rolling and get it moving and doing like fast fashion. And that's been the trend forever now. So I was glad to see that she came up with this like digital runway, and it was really stunning. The clothes were really amazing. They were well-made clothing, good quality. You just cannot beat that. But on the other note, I'm also seeing that other designers are grabbing onto the idea and to the concept of it. Now, I saw Oliver, who did like a Balmain collection, which it was digital. If you go, you can find it on the internet, online. I'm sure I saw it on Instagram, and he had like this digital collection. It had like a Michael Jackson influence, and I was like, oh, really? So you were inspired by that designer, the black designer. And I told the friend of mine, I was like, well, let's just see how long it takes before all the other designers or mainstream designers or big designers catch on to this and do it and make it their own. And lo and behold, it wasn't even a month later, and he was doing it. Now, I'm not hating on Oliver. I like Oliver. I like what he do. I like Balmain and the brand, but I was like, I just really wish that Anifa would have got more, which she did get some publicity, or a lot more publicity, like through social media, different sites and different things like that. And of course, I was glad to see that, and I'm just excited to see, like I said, what's the future of fashion. I've been saying it for years now. I want to see more of the digital age of fashion, where we move forward until the future. I've been saying that for a really, really long time, and it's just good to see that a person of color came up with the idea and done it, and has made it a thing. So let's see how that works out. And guys, I want you to pay attention to other designers. Let's see if they are like keeping their eyes out and doing the same thing, or doing it. Now, just speaking of collections and different things like that, pushing out collections like every 3 months and keeping up with these seasons, and every time you look around, there's a runway show. These designers are pushing out these collections, and they're not getting the opportunity to make well-made clothes and good quality clothes and innovative clothing. So Gucci, their newest designer, I guess Alexandro Michel, he stated that he wanted to stop the traditional fashion calendar, calling it a worn-out ritual of seasonalities and shows to regain new cadence and closest to his expressive call. So they have decided they will only meet twice a year, and they will only show twice a year. Now, I'm kind of here for that, because it's like a 6 months type of time frame, where it gives designers a longer time to come up with these collections and make it more innovative. And I don't know, is this like the end of like all of the fashion weeks and different things like that? Will other brands take suit, which other brands follow? We'll see, guys, but I am excited to see it, like I said before, and I cannot wait to see whoever is gonna like grab hold to this. And they're kind of like going against the grain and saying that, hey, no, we're not gonna do that traditional, every season to have a collection and show a collection every season. And I'm here for it. With everything that's going on, it really is a reset on everything, and I'm really glad to see that. Now, speaking of resets and different things like that, we're gonna talk about Vogue. And I know you guys saw the Vogue challenge. We've seen everybody making their magazine covers. And, we saw Anna Wintour speaking out, saying that, in the past, she I don't know if she said this specifically, so don't quote me. She was like kind of like saying that there was not a lot of inclusion of minorities in the actual magazine. So now they want to do that. So just back in 2018, when Beyonce was on the cover of Vogue, Tyler Mitchell, who was the photographer for the actual shoot, he was kind of like the first African American photographer to shoot that cover story for Vogue. With Beyonce's the September issue. Now, I just think that that's kind of all the years that Vogue has been in, it just has been around. We've never seen a lot of people of color on that magazine. So people on social media, they pulled out this Vogue challenge, or they started this Vogue challenge. And to be particular of the person that started that Vogue challenge was Selma Noor. She first posted like a black and white shot of herself by photographer Angelique Colvin, and basically it started a trend and everybody started doing it. I don't know if you've all seen the Vogue cover on Instagram and Twitter, where people are taking these pictures and they have Vogue in the background. So I'm guessing Vogue has saw these things taking place on social media and taking some of those pictures and letting people kind of make their own. You know what I mean? Just letting people do their own thing and just kind of like, you know, like saying like, hey, we see you guys and we want to take part in this, and they're grabbing like some of the best and top pictures, and you know, they're posting them online. If you go to Vogue.com, you'll see some of those pictures and some of the people showing their covers or what their interpretation of what their cover would be with Vogue. And I'm glad to see it because it's diversifying the magazine. Now, also, this is just to take it a step further, just from my point of view. I've always liked Vogue. But why is it that Vogue is like the standard? Now, I see some people saying that, you know, Vogue was the standard place to, I guess, except if you're saying like, oh, if you're on a Vogue cover, you've made it. But why is that the standard, right? Why was that like the standard? So I'm just kind of like a little indifferent about it. I'm just kind of like, why can't we have like our own magazine? I know we've had magazines in the past and before, Essence, Ebony, and different things like that. But there wasn't on the type of level of Vogue. But I would love to see like a black fashion magazine, or not just black, I'll take that back, not just a black fashion magazine, but a magazine that's dedicated to all people of color, not just black. I want to see Asian, Latino. I want to see all the colors of the rainbow in this magazine, and I just want to see a magazine that's like more geared towards that, not just one specific standard of so-called beauty, or what they call industry standard of beauty. So, guys, that is my podcast for this week. That's all that I wanted to come and talk to you about. I know I haven't talked to you guys in a while, but remember, you know, to follow me on all the social media platforms. Remember to listen on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, YouTube, Rizzle, Google Podcasts, and also please make sure you guys comment and subscribe, and make sure that you like this video and share it with your friends, and go down into the comments and let me know what you think on these topics and your thoughts. But until next time, keep dreaming.